Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Beast is Loose and I am back with your daily CSGO betting analysis and predictions for the day of June 2nd, 2015. Let's jump right in. We got quite a few games today and some good ones thrown in there too, and I will tell you who to bet for. Let's start off with Neophyte versus Mouse Gaming, and this is a best of 3 for the 99 damage arena, and I'm going to say that Mouse is going to take this because they have been pretty good lately and doing better than they have been in the past. Neophyte have had some good showings lately, but Mouse is still higher level than Neophyte, and Neophyte still is not at the level of Mouse Gaming yet. So if you're willing to do a risky bet, you can go ahead and bet Neophyte, but the safe bet would be Mouse. Next we have a best of 3 for the Star Series, Envious versus SK, and I'm obviously going to say you guys should bet Envious on this one because SK has not had any showings lately and we just don't know how good they are. But SK, this is going to be one of their first showings, so it'd be interesting to see how they play. The lounge odds are so skewed 6% to 94% that it is definitely not worth betting. Next we have a best of 3, Hellraisers versus Encore, and Hellraisers is starting to make a great name for themselves in the scene right now because they have been having some great games lately. Are any of these Hellraiser games down here? Nope, they're not, but they had some great games yesterday and they're actually starting to become another top tier 1 team. I do think Hellraisers will win this, and the odds are so skewed 10% for Encore that you should not bet at all. Next we have a best of 3, Flipside versus G2, and G2 have not been as good lately as they should be. Flipside, on the other hand, has not played that many competitive matches lately, but they still have been doing really well. So I'm going to say go ahead and bet Flipside just because they are the better team out of the two. Next we have a best of 1, Navi versus Penta. And Navi has been doing pretty good lately, and they are still in contention for being the best tier 1 team because Guardian is doing really amazing lately. This is a best of 1, so it could go either way, and best of 1s you should usually bet low on the underdog is usually how you want to bet on best of 1s. In this case, I think the odds are definitely in Navi's favor. Even if Penta goes up on them a couple rounds, I do think Navi can still pull it back. Yeah, so next we have Evolution versus New Era. This is a best of 1, and these Evolution, New Era, and Aces you guys might not have heard of as often as some of the other teams, but New Era is a fairly decent team, and Evolution is also a decent team. This could go either way. Based on the odds right now, I'm gonna say bet low on New Era just because you'll win more because this is a 50-50 matchup. Next we have New Era versus Aces, and I do think Aces should take this one, but if New Era have a good showing in the first game, then go ahead and bet New Era in the second game because New Era is definitely a team that plays based on how they're doing during the day. So if they have a good game if they have a good first game of the day, then they'll definitely have a good second game of the day. Next we have AT Black versus G2, and I would say watch the game versus G2 versus Flipside. And if G2 wins or comes close, then I would say go ahead and definitely bet G2. But if G2 is having a really bad day, then go ahead and bet AT Black because I definitely think AT Black can take this best of 1. Next you have SK versus TA. And as I said, SK have not been showing up to many competitive matches lately, but based on their match versus Envious, if they come close and it's not a total domination by Envious, I would say go ahead and bet SK versus TA because TA have not been doing as good as they should be lately, and they have had some opportunities to win against teams they should have won against, and they have blown their chances. So go ahead and watch SK versus Envy and see how SK plays in that game. Next we have a best of 1, TSM versus Envious. I would say watch Envious's first match in a couple hours and go ahead and go off of that for this match, because if Envious has a good first match of the day, then their game versus SK will kind of be like a warm-up for this game versus TSM. And I do think that Envy can take this, but TSM is definitely one of the best, if not the best team right now. So this is going to be a close game, and I'm going to be excited to watch this. Next we have Kingwin versus the winner of Envious or SK. Assuming this is Envious, I do think Envious will beat Kingwin, but wait to see who wins Envious versus SK first. Next we have InShock versus Flipside. I would say watch Flipside's earlier game, and if they lose to G2, then go ahead and bet InShock, because InShock are pretty much at the same point that G2 are right now, based on progress through the scene. And Flipside are a good team. Flipside is definitely a good team. So if G2 beats Flipside, then Flipside may not be having a good day. So I think InShock can also beat Flipside. It is possible. Next we have a best of one, Na'Vi versus Titan, and I do think Titan can take this based on how Na'Vi is having a good or bad day versus Penta. And Na'Vi might lose 2 best of ones, but I do think you should bet low on Titan on this one, just because of odds. Next we have Aces versus Evolution. So go ahead and watch Evolution play versus New Era and Aces play versus New Era, and you can base it off of that purely because if Evolution beats New Era but then Aces loses to New Era, then Evolution should beat Aces. So go ahead and bet according to that. Based on the odds purely right now, I would say bet low on Evolution, because I do think that this is a 50-50. Next we have Penta versus Titan, and I would say watch Penta's game and watch Titan's game and see how they both play. I do think Titan will take this best of one, but if Penta's having a good day, then they can definitely take this away from Titan. Next we have a best of 3, SKDC versus Nexup, and I'm going to say you should bet low on Nexup because SKDC is extremely inconsistent, so they could very well be having a bad day, and then they can lose their best of 3 in 2 matches to Nexup. It is possible, and SKDC have done weirder things before, so I think betting low on Nexup is a good opportunity to make some money. That's all for today, guys. If I have won you any money in the past or win you any money today, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date with all the content and all the jam-packed June content coming out on my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video.